On the Blue Mountains, the Gundungana and Nara people are the custodians. So we give them the utmost respect and love every day. For all of us performers, we are visitors here just like you. From the northern parts of Australia, the next journey is about this lovely instrument. How it's been handed down through generations for thousands of years. How it's been used in ceremonies. We'll cover all of this through the story from Laura. Uncle Jarlin, who is one of the custodians for this instrument, has given us permission to share this with you. This is a story about the didgeridoo, world's oldest instrument. The didgeridoo originated in East Arnhem Land, home of the Yolngu people. One day, a man named Yidiki went out hunting when he heard a strange mystical sound. Yidiki followed the sound till he found a small hollow log lying on the ground. He discovered that the strange mystical sound was the wind blowing through the hollow log. Sawdust and termites fell out of the end of the log when he picked it up. And he blew into the log, blowing the dust and termites into the night sky. The dust creating the Milky Way, and termites becoming the stars. Yidiki tried to imitate the sound of the wind. He went back to his people and tried to play with them.
Hey, Diane!
But they soon got bored hearing the same sound and sent him away, telling him to return the log to the bush. Yidiki went back to the bush, but instead of returning the log, he began to practice. He soon discovered that by making a loose vibration with his lips, he could create the sound of the wind. And by breathing through his nose, he developed circular breathing. He created rhythm. This sound gave the didgeridoo its common name. Yidiki mimicked the movements of the sounds of the animals he saw. The kangaroo jumping.
Hey, keep it down, boing, boing, boing.
The kookaburra laughing.
Hey, kookaburra.
The cries and howls of our native dog, the dingo.
Hey, you can...
And the wise mopo owl.
And mopo. Today, the didgeridoo is an icon of our culture. Traditionally, it is a ceremonial instrument named after its founder, Yidiki. Thank you.
We are now witnessing the creation of our first fire. Our journey starts with God sending down the lightning bolt, creating this fire. Inside the wooden dish, with the fire we put the leaves from our special trees. The smoke from this dish and the leaves takes away the evil and the bad spirits, so that we may walk with only the good spirits for the rest of the day from this ceremony. Will be sung in my father's language, Wongai, northwest New South Wales. The figures you see on the cave wall behind me, these figures have been there for over 50,000 years. We're going to share this dancing style. So the reason why we stopped Mother Earth, raising the dust to waken the ancestors. So the ancestors can see we're sharing our ceremonies with them. But also, the other part of the ceremony is joining all three worlds together. Joining Mother Earth, our world, and God's. The ceremony will go all night long, but here we can only share with you certain parts. The song that I sing for everyone to come out is to pay respects to where we are. Again, we're on the land of the Gandangara and the Darug. We give them that much respect every show, every day. Each dancer will present themselves one at a time. They will have hands on shoulders, showing the unity and the love that God and Mother Earth give to our people for sharing these ceremonies and this dance. All the colours on our mat, each one of these colours has their own creation story. Creation story I'm going to share with you now is from the Wongai stands. This is the creation story of the first four animals. These four animals walked the land with God, helping Him create our landscape, giving us our first daughters, and then becoming part of the landscape. But the story starts in the heavens, we call Mirabuka. When God comes down from the heavens, He changes into the wedge-tailed eagle, Malian, flying around until He lands at the perfect place. Our perfect place we call Waradah Aboriginal. And at this perfect place, God finds the perfect lady, Ganithako, Mother Earth. Together, they give us the creation of the first four animals. First came Guga, the goanna. Then came Nudi, the Indian. Kirita, the kangaroo. Vikarbila, the echidna. When these animals finished the journey, God then put the Indian in the stars for storage there. The other three animals became our mountains, all having their own stories. We will mimic the movements of these four animals. Then we do another song and dance to pay proper respects to them. When you see the dancers moving back with their hands raised, they're becoming the good spirit, always keeping away the bad. We give all our love and respects to Dumbo, Paul Gordon, and Bingo Peter. Demonstrate and explain our weapons and utensils.
The next part of the show is about our tools and weapons. With these two here that I have, the Waradah and the spear, with the pair of them put together, the longest distance to hit a kangaroo in the heart on the hop is 220 metres. With these two here, counts as an arm extension for more power, accuracy and speed, and you can judge whether animals will be next.
The weapon I'll be sharing with you today, ladies and gentlemen, is the returning boomerang. We use this weapon to hunt small birds or bats. The way we use it is throwing it on a 45 ring or throwing it with a flick with our wrist. It then will fly in a circular motion, knocking the animal to earth. We then quickly move to the animal, put it in the sling. That is because we do not like our animals to suffer. We use the feathers for dances or ceremonies and the meat for food or taka. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the tool we want to share with you here. This here is a traditional bowl. It is used all over the tribal nation around Australia. It's the women that will make these from the bark of a tree and use it the most. It has many purposes for it. I'm just going to go through some of them for you. For when the women, they go out gathering and collecting food and seeds from our trees, also on our beautiful land, we will place inside this bowl. Nice and hard, so it's easy to dig holes to collect our grubs and our roots from the ground. The shape of it is useful for collecting water to drink from as well. What I have here is possum skin. We will place it inside the bowl to make it nice and soft to nurse our babies. In my language, the Kukoyalanji, we will call this bowl gala. Thank you.
With this journey, we'll share with you how and why we paint our bodies. We go out and we collect the ochres. Ochres are rocks. We get the different colours. As we gather up the colours that we paint on our bodies, we'll sing to Mother Earth. We'll sing to her as we pick the rocks up. We sing to her as we crush the rocks, making the rocks into a fine powder. While adding the water, we'll then paint our bodies, nyimani. Put the patterns on our bodies for the ceremonies that we must attend. These patterns are like signatures. We wear the ones for the ceremonies that we're going to attend, then everybody knows where we fit into the ceremony. The colours on the map of Australia, these represent languages. There are 350 languages across Australia, and not one of us spoke the same. We were multicultural before multiculturalism came here. As we're growing up, our parents would teach us the languages of our country. For we'd share ceremonies, trade, bartering, also our marriage system become involved. All these colours have their own totems. These totems are to represent the people of all 350 languages across Australia. Dancing is another journey we'd like to take you. All around Australia, all the different colours on our map, we have different ways of dancing. But we all dance for the same reasons. To pay respects to God, Mother Earth. We imitate the movements of the animals. To pay respects to the animals. We imitate the movements of the trees, the grass, the winds. We imitate all these different things. This is one part of the ceremonies. The next level of ceremony, which we can't talk about, you'll have to come and learn that yourself. This next ceremony is called Woodian. Woodian was taught to me by my brother Ray Kelly. He is now Dr. Ray Kelly, a linguist in language. Woodian is about sharing the style of dancing, paying respect back to our families. Because while we're away, my brother Ray says, away in ceremonies, our families support us and look after us. So we'll come back and do this style of dancing. In doing that, we'll sit the families down, pay respect to them, and give them the love they deserve. And we'll dance. Goodie. Is a song about our water holes. My people, we are the rock people. We have no major rivers or water sources, only these springs that are made by the rainbow serpent we call Waradah. When we say Kalam Talapati, Nina Pati, the no water people. A little bird, Machanka, the red-breast robin, follows these water holes that the big serpent has made. As he goes towards each water hole, he does the dance, the step. Each turn back represents that water hole. And we shake our legs at these water holes. Shaking our legs from white people is to pay respects to God and Mother Earth for what they give us. So this is repeated another 9 times. And then at the end of it, Tabatha, that's to say thank you, from the bird to the snake. Angela is from the Katoomba Islands people, northern Queensland. This dance was given to us by my brother Brendan and his family, so I give them big respects. He taught me that when the men and the women go down to the mangroves and the swamps, gathering all the food they can, they're being tormented by the insects. Angela is the mosquito. So they get the leaves from the gum tree, put over a fire. When the heat from the fire make those leaves sweat, they rub that moisture all over their body. It becomes one of the first insect repellents, stopping the insects from biting. But because there's so many insects, they use the rest of the leaves to destroy them. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to Waradah. So we share the laws of our countries, the laws that God and Mother Earth give our people. And the back will be open soon for you. On your way out, please have a free photograph of one of the performers. The song we sing off is to pay the utmost respect to you, so that you travel safe throughout this lovely country of ours. But I'd like to say in my language, Wangakua, Nia Nuna. That means to walk with the ancestors before us, not just mine, all of ours. Because everyone's been here for over 250 years now. We walk with all. Be safe. And remember, we're all visitors here to this time. We're here to observe, to love, to learn from each other. And then we must return home safe.
Thank you.